Hello everyone. Failure, just hearing that word makes most people uncomfortable. We are taught to avoid it, to fear it, to hide it. But here is something surprising. Many of the most successful people in history failed again and again before achieving the greatness. So, what if failure is not the enemy? What if failure is actually one of the most powerful teachers in the life? In this video, I'm going to uncover the hidden lessons failure teaches us and why the people who learn from it often achieve the greatest success. What failure actually teaches us. Failure is one of the most misunderstood experiences in the life. From childhood, we are often taught to avoid failure at all cost. In school, mistakes lower our grades. In careers, failures can feel embarrassing. In society, success is celebrated while failure is hidden. But history tells a different story. Many of the greatest achievements in science, business, sports, and creativity were built on a long series of failures. Failure is not simply a setback, it is a teacher. In this video, I will explore what failure actually teaches us, why successful people experience it frequently, and how the lessons hidden in failure can shape stronger, wiser, and more resilient individuals. Why society fears the failure? One reason failure feels so uncomfortable is because society often frames it as something negative. From early education onwards, people are encouraged to pursue perfection. Mistakes are corrected quickly. Errors are often associated with weakness. But the real world operates very differently. Innovation requires experimentation. Experimentation involves uncertainty, and uncertainty inevitably produces mistakes. Many groundbreaking discoveries happened because someone was willing to try something that might fail. Failure is not the opposite of success. In many cases, it is the pathway to discover what works. The hidden truth about success. When we see successful individuals, we usually see the final results. We see awards, achievements, recognition, and influence. What we rarely see is the long journey behind those accomplishments. Entrepreneurs often experience failed ventures before building successful companies. Inventors test numerous prototypes before discovering effective designs. Athletes lose competitions before becoming champions. Success stories often hide the many lessons learned from failure. Behind almost every visible success is an invisible history of trial, error, and persistence. Understanding this reality changes how we interpret failure. Instead of seeing it as defeat, we can begin to see it as progress in disguise. Controversy. Should we celebrate failure? In recent years, a new idea has emerged, celebrating the failure. Some argue that failure should be embraced and even celebrated as a sign of courage and experimentation. Others get disagreed. They argue that failure should be avoided whenever possible. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. Failure itself is not something people should seek. However, when failure occurs, the most important question becomes what can we learn from it? Failure only becomes valuable when it leads to reflection, learning, and improvement. Without learning, failure remains simply a setback. With learning, failure becomes a powerful source of growth. Lesson number one, failure builds resilience. One of the most powerful lessons failure teaches is resilience. Resilience is the ability to recover from setbacks and continue moving forward. Life rarely follows a perfectly predictable path. Unexpected challenges appear in careers, relationships, and personal ambitions. When individuals experience failure and learn to recover from it, they develop emotional strength. They begin to understand that setbacks are temporary. Resilient individuals view difficulties as challenges rather than permanent obstacles. Failure strengthens this resilience by teaching people that progress is still possible even after disappointment. Why resilience matters? Resilience matters because the world is constantly changing. Careers evolve, industries transform, unexpected situations arise. People who develop resilience are better equipped to navigate these uncertainties. Instead of becoming discouraged by setbacks, resilient individuals adapt and adjust their strategies. They recognize that obstacles are not permanent barriers but opportunities to learn and refine their approach. In many ways, resilience is the foundation of long term success, and resilience often grows through experiences that initially feel like a failure. Lesson number two, failure reveals the weaknesses. Another powerful lesson failure teaches is awareness. Failure often reveals weaknesses that might otherwise remain hidden. It highlights areas where improvement is needed. Perhaps a skill needs further development. Perhaps a strategy was flawed. Perhaps a decision lacked sufficient preparation. While these realizations can feel uncomfortable, they are incredibly valuable. Failure acts like a mirror. It shows individuals where they needed to grow, and once weaknesses become visible, they can be improved. Without failure, these blind spots might remain unnoticed. A controversy. Does failure damage confidence? A common concern about failure is that it might damage confidence, and in some situations, it can temporarily reduce self confidence. However, confidence built only on success can be fragile. When individuals learn to overcome failure, they develop a deeper form of confidence. They begin to trust their ability to learn, adapt, and improve. This type of confidence is not dependent on perfection. It is built on the understanding that mistakes are a part of the growth. Confidence rooted in learning becomes much stronger than confidence rooted only in the success. Lesson number three, failure encourages creativity. Failure often encourages creativity. When a plan doesn't work, individuals are forced to think differently. They must explore alternative strategies. They must challenge assumptions. They must experiment with new ideas. Many innovative solutions emerged only after earlier attempts were failed. Creativity often flourishes when traditional approaches prove ineffective. Failure disrupts routine thinking. It encourages curiosity, and curiosity can lead to breakthrough the ideas. Lesson number four, failure builds humility. Another valuable lesson from the failure is humility. Success can sometimes create overconfidence. Failure reminds individuals that growth is always possible. Humility encourages people to listen more carefully, to seek feedback, to learn from others. It creates openness to improvement. Great leaders often demonstrate humility because they understand that learning never truly ends. Failure helps cultivate this mindset. It reminds us that progress is an ongoing journey rather than a final destination. Lesson number five, failure teaches persistence. Persistence is the ability to continue despite challenges. Many remarkable achievements occurred because someone refused to give up. Persistence transforms failure from a stopping point into a stepping stone. Each attempt provides additional information. Each lesson improves the next effort. When individuals persist through difficulties, they gradually refine their skills, strategies, and understanding. Persistence does not guarantee instant success, but it significantly increases the likelihood of meaningful progress. Real world examples. History offers countless examples of individuals who encountered failure before achieving success. Inventors tested numerous prototypes before discovering working solutions. Writers faced repeated rejections before publishing influential books. Entrepreneurs experienced unsuccessful ventures before building thriving companies. These examples illustrate an important truth. Failure is not unique to struggling individuals. It is also a common experience among successful people. The difference lies in how individuals respond to failure. Some give up, others learn, and they continue. Controversy: is failure necessary for the success? An interesting debate is whether failure is necessary for the success. Some individuals achieve success quickly without experiencing significant setbacks. Others encounter many failures along their journey. Failure itself is not a requirement. However, the qualities often developed through failure, resilience, adaptability, and persistence are extremely valuable. Failure is one way these qualities get developed, but the deeper lesson is not the failure itself, it is the growth that follows. Reframing failure. One of the most powerful mindset shift involves reframing the failure. Instead of asking, why did this happen to me? A more constructive question is, what can I learn from this experience? When failure becomes feedback rather than defeat, it transforms into a learning opportunity. This perspective encourages continuous improvement. Every setback becomes a lesson. Every mistake becomes a guide for future progress. Reframing failure changes how individuals approach challenges and opportunities. Failure does not define a person's potential. Instead, it reveals the capacity to grow. Every challenge contains insight. Every setback offers wisdom. Every mistake presents an opportunity to learn. Success is rarely a straight path. It is shaped by curiosity, resilience, creativity, and persistence. The most important question is not whether failure occurs, it is what we choose to learn from it, because the lessons hidden within failure often becomes the foundation for future success. Thank you. Have a nice day.